Alright, so we have our external portion of our eye, which we can all see the external portion, obviously is outside, right? The two parts that we want y'all to be able to identify here on the outside are the cornea, and the cornea is this kind of lens looking or kind of opaque membrane right here. Okay, the cornea is going to allow light to pass through it first. This is the first part that's going to directly touch light. Next we have the sclera, which is the whites of the eye. So it's this white part on the outside. Everyone should be able to see their own sclera. Okay, you look in the mirror, you can see the white part of your eye, right? That's sclera. So those are the two portions on the outside. So let's cut around them and get to the inside. So we're just going to kind of make like a window here out of the cornea, and we'll see this black fluid come out. And this kind of aqueous solution is called the aqueous humor. And then we'll talk about the vitreous humor here in a little bit. The aqueous humor is going to be the more watery type, and the vitreous humor is going to be like a gel. So we have the cornea and sclera kind of detached. So if we open it up, we're now going to go here on the inside below the sclera. So the lighting's kind of bad, but this darker stuff right here on the outside, if everyone can see that, that is actually your iris. And if you look, it has little bitty little muscles. That's all muscles. Okay. So what that's doing is the iris is the color part of our eye, right? The blue, the purple. Okay, no one has purple, but the blue, the brown, the green, the hazel. Okay, that's the iris. What that does is those muscles open the pupil, which is this opening right here. Or can y'all see the pupil actually? I'll tell there's an opening there. Okay, this opening right here. And that allows more or less light to come in based on, you know, how bright it is outside. Okay, if you're outside in the sunlight, it's going to constrict, okay? So you're not going to get very much light coming in, whereas if it's a dark room or nighttime, it's going to open up to allow as much light as possible in so you can see better. So those are the objects we can identify there. Next, we'll come back to the eye. So we saw kind of our aqueous humor. We have a little bit out here on the table, okay? It's this really liquidy stuff. We also have our vitreous humor, which is this jelly-like material y'all can see in here, okay? This jelly-like material, the vitreous humor, it allows the lens to sit on that and kind of rotate and change shape and stuff without causing too much friction. Okay, so it's basically like kind of like an oily substance, and also just kind of like lets it sit there so you don't get anything rubbing on another thing. So this right here is the lens. Okay, the lens is what focuses the image on the back of the eye at the retina. So what happens is if you're looking at something far away, okay, this is going to have to constrict, and it's actually going to form the image better, whereas if it's closer, it's going to go more roundish. And how it actually changes shape are these little black muscles you can see here called the ciliated muscles. Okay, so once that forms an image, okay, the light's going to pass through it. What we're looking at, it's going to pass through this. It's going to be shapen correctly. And then light's going to pass through the lens and through the vitreous humor, and we're actually going to dump all that out now. Okay, so you can tell it's a jelly. And it's going to form an image here on the retina. And the retina is actually where our sensors are that pick up this light. Okay, it's going to pick up these shapes and show you and send that image to the brain so it can then develop it or whatever you want to say for the brain. The retina is this kind of whitish membrane here on the back that has these wrinkles on it. So I'll go around to every camera so y'all can see it. See, it has these kind of wrinkles back here on this white membrane. See the wrinkles? Can y'all both see those? The wrinkles right here. Okay, so the retina is actually where those photoreceptors are. It's actually going to form the image, then pick it up. And then right here is the optic disc. You can kind of see there's a little hole where all the kind of these wrinkles come together. And I'll show you how you can really see it easier. Is this retina is pretty much free floating back there, except for at the optic disc. That's where it's actually attached to the optic nerve. So if you look, we can pretty much scrape it off of every other part, except right there. Can y'all see how it's attached in there? See, our retina is actually attached right here in the middle. Everywhere else it came off. Right here in, not the middle, but at this one point at the optic disc, it's actually attached. That's where we're actually sending our signals to our brain from what we perceived. From there, it goes to the optic chiasm, then into the piriform lobes right of the brain, and that's where we actually get our image formation due to the brain. It's going to convert those signals to an image. So, the last part we're going to look at is this this bluish green. And it kind of gets black here. This bluish green tint or membrane here on the back Okay, it's kind of a reflective surface. What that does is it allows animals that have that, such as a sheep, a goat, a deer, to see better at night. Okay, because light's going to come in there, it's going to refract, it's going to kind of illuminate the eye better. That's why these animals at night, if you shine a light on them, okay, they're going to shine back blue or green, whatever color it is. Okay, if you shine a light on a human, eyes don't shine back. Okay, we don't have this, and this is called the tapetum lucidum. Okay, so that's what this bluish green stuff is called. All right, so a human, a pig, some other primates, we don't have that. We don't see well at night. But things that see good at night, such as sheep, deer, goats, they have those. So that's everything for the eye.